please work this time. It works. It works. Welcome to part 2 of me recording this session, because I just spent 30 minutes talking into microphone that was not working. But I think it works now because I see the thing moving. Okay, so this is not X-Files related. It's a very special sort of stream. I have been asked by a friend of mine who was also anyway, she has this writing class which I took, and I loved it, and we have been, a bunch of us women from that writing class have been getting together and writing together, and I wrote a story which we had all worked on, and then I submitted it to this publication, and it got accepted, it got published, and now this friend of mine has been asked to talk about her course at this art festival, and she asked me to do a little recording of myself reading from the story, which is so much fun. And I only have 2 minutes, so the story's like, I don't know, like 7,000 words or something, but I only have 2 minutes so I'm just gonna go with the beginning, because I'm not gonna spoil the ending. I'm not gonna give away the best parts. People are just gonna have to go and read for themselves. So now this story is very personal to me. It's about my homeland. It's an environmental story about the man-made nature disaster that is the Aral Sea in Kazakhstan, and it's about that, but it's also a queer story because the protagonist is a trans man, so that's also is very important to me. And so any chance I get to promote this story, I'll do it. It's I think it's the best story I've written so far. So, if you're gonna ask me to record myself reading from it, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. And also because, I'm a writer and I want people to read my stuff. So now, because I already did this like half an hour ago, I have a pretty good, I've read this story many times already out loud. So I'm hoping that we can just, it'll be over quickly. I won't have to do many retakes. So without further ado, let's get into this. I'm gonna have to find the page again, of course. Let's see. Nope, that's from last year. I need from this year. There we go. I really hope you can't hear all the commotion outside. Okay. Just gonna take a last look at myself in the webcam. I wore this necklace, which is silver and turquoise. It's from my homeland. My grandmother brought it for me many years ago. It also comes with a pair of earrings, but since I am letting my the holes in my ears to heal because I'm getting new ones, doesn't matter. Anyway, well, this is it. Ta-da! This is what people are gonna see in that festival. I did my hair, I did my makeup. I'm wearing a blazer. This is the water, and this is the well. The horse is the white of the eye. Drink full and descend. Okay, that's it. Bye. I'm just kidding. Gifts we give to the sea by Dinara Tangri. You must have not gone too far if you were able to find your way back. Kazakh proverb. 6 years ago, Madina's daughter left their home of Jalaman by the North Aral Sea and never came back. In her stead came a son. Madina had always known that Ayjan was different. From the moment she had said her first word, she didn't speak like any girl Madina had known. God plays funny tricks sometimes, doesn't he? If God had made Ayjan this way, who was Madina to oppose his will? When her son had returned home, he held his mother close, and she inhaled all the smells of the big city and of changing times. He then opened his passport, held it up to his mother's face, and said, "My name is Jean now." And so Ayjan became Jean. The moon had set, but its soul remained. Madina took her son's face in her bony dark hands, and for the first time she saw how much he looked like his father. The next day, Madina prepared a dastarkhan to welcome home her son. She made deep-fried baursak, and they slaughtered a lamb to make bishparmak. The smells of meaty broth filled the dry, saline air, reminding Madina of the toys their family used to throw back when Jean's father was still alive, when they hadn't yet buried their eldest son. "Aren't you going to invite our friends and neighbors, Apam?" Jean said while he was stirring the meat in the boiling broth. "Later, Balam," Madina said, keeping her eyes firmly on the dough she was kneading. "Today, I just want to have a nice meal with my son." "But what kind of toy we're going to have if there's only the two of us?" Jean said, laughing. "At least let me tell Mergen Ara that his favorite troublemaker was back in town. He'll bring his wife and grandchildren." Wiping the flour off of her hands with her cotton apron, Madina said, "Mergen moved from Jalaman, Balam. His son got a new job in Shymkent and took all his family with him." If Jean was shocked or saddened by this news, he didn't show it. He must have known it, must have seen the ghostly streets of his home when he came back. People have been fleeing Jalaman, abandoning their homes, severing their roots. Madina didn't blame them. She would have gone herself if she were even a decade younger. There's an old Kazakh proverb that says, "An onion can be sweeter than honey if it grows in your motherland." But in the dried-out basin of the old Aral Sea, honey tasted like salt, and onions tasted of nothing at all. The soil was saturated with salt and pesticides that were left behind as the sea dried out. And as the sea kept dying, so did the fishing holes around it. Did we do it? One take? Do you realize how many times I had to read it over and over again the first time I did this? One take. That's it. I'm gonna take that part out of the stream and I'm just gonna package it and send it to my friend so she can show it at that art festival. I'm probably gonna, I should link, post the link to that art festival in the description of this stream when I put it on YouTube. Because I really wanted, I could have just recorded myself reading the story without having to do a whole stream. But isn't it more fun this way? At least it is for me. Because if I do it by myself, without, talking to the rest of the world like I'm talking now, it's just gonna be boring. And all the technical things like the microphone not working, they just become so frustrating when you're doing it by yourself. But when there is a potential audience, or when you're just talking to someone else, it just talking to the world, it becomes, the frustrating parts become more fun. the frustrating parts become just, bloopers and goofs. And also, I want to share the process. This is how I record the podcast. This is how it is. Technical difficulties. And I mean, this is how people record scripted podcasts, I guess. Because you have a script and you think you can just do it all in one take, but there's so many takes and fumbling and mispronouncing words, and you have to start over again and your mouth gets dry. But this is part of the process, and I want to be able to record and document the process itself and share it with with whoever is interested. So speaking about the podcast, it's coming back. I don't know when, probably not until next year. I took a longer break. I think July was the last time I posted an episode. I took a longer break because I was just burnt out on the whole thing, and also the topic of the podcast of that episode was a bit on the heavy side, and it just stopped being fun. But I miss doing it. I miss doing it, and a friend of mine who is another X-Files fan. You know him from Instagram. He does X-Files color, those color cards. He started a podcast, not a rewatch podcast, but it's a podcast about the sort of history of the X-Files. And like, I got so excited for him, but I also got this like FOMO, like, oh my God, but I also want to keep working on my podcast and keep, delving into history of our fandom like I used to do. And so it's coming back. In streaming news, we are definitely going to finish the X-Files game. Again, I don't know when. I'm gonna have to make some time for that, because it's not just me playing, it's me playing, but everyone else from our Discord is also there in chat, and we're sort of playing it together. So I need to coordinate so that as many of us as possible can participate in it, not just me playing it, because it's so much more fun with people. So yeah, hopefully you can hear me right. I dressed up for this because, this video is gonna play in a museum. So, I had to do my hair. I mean, I woke up this way. I braid my hair when I go to bed, and then turns out like this when I brush it out. But I had to do my makeup. I haven't done my makeup in a very long time. So, I guess I'm gonna go and edit now, because the deadline's on Thursday. So, thank you for joining, whoever is watching, whoever will be watching it in the future, thank you also. And I'm gonna post the link to that art show. I'm gonna post the link to my story so you can read it, because I'm not gonna read it the whole thing by myself. I'm gonna post the link to the class. Now, I guess you need to know Russian, because it's a Russian speaking class. It's for women from Central Asia and former Soviet Union. And I'm gonna post the link, all the usual links to the podcast and Discord. Join our Discord. We have so much fun there. And also, I joined Blue Sky, because a bunch of, there's this sort of exodus from Twitter to Blue Sky, because we're tired of so many things on Twitter. And so far I'm having a lot of fun there. It's a much more chill space, but also I think I'm making it a much more chill space for myself, because all the aggressive, toxic interactions I've had on Twitter, some of which have been my own fault, others still not my fault. I don't want that on Blue Sky. I don't want that on that other place. I want it to just be like a chill hangout spot where I can talk about the X-Files and things that interest me. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and catch me next time when I'm playing the X-Files game.